Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday evening. Welcome to this episode of Satchel and Bont Marathon of Madness. Um, let's begin. Um, so today we're talking about season 8, episode 26, Game Day Part 9, and then season 9, episode 43. Um, the first one is Game Day Part 9, season 8, episode 26. This is the fifth grade. Um, it's a Thursday. Um, so he gets breakfast. He gets on the Hartman bus. And today, Hunter is Mr. Hunter. Today is a preschool day. Um, so the kiddos start out by coming in and doing your morning centers, which is blocks, um, art, lighting, and science and dramatic play. So they have fun with that. And then we do our morning meetings. So we do our calendar, our days of the week song, and the month of the year, and what year it is. Um, and then we do our weather wrap. What's the weather? What's the weather? Then our weather person goes out. Uh, well, yeah, they go out and they check the weather. And then they report the weather to the rest of the kiddos, um, and to the teachers. And then they do get assigned their jobs today, like line reader and stuff like that. And then they go to their first lesson of the day, which is music. So they do some songs, they do some motions with the songs and dancing a little bit. So, yeah. And once again, I don't really remember the theme of the week. I don't know where we're at in this, but they do something around the theme or the letter or the number or the color of the week. And then they go to story time up in the loft. So all the kids go up to the loft and sit down. Sometimes they have like a stuffed animal with them. And then they get read a story to them. And then they have alphabet lesson, so they learn the letters of the alphabet, the sounds of the alphabet, um, basic stuff. Um, Man, wasn't it so easy when we were preschoolers and kids and elementary students before we grew up and had to do like algebra and crap? Oh my God, I miss those days. Um, I miss being a little kid sometimes, but learning the basic numbers and before letters started having like letters with them. So, but anyway, um, those were the good old days. But anyway, um, before we started having to do taxes and stuff. But anyway, um, and do like econ and stuff, or calculus or something. But anyway, then they have their snack time. So they do their snack song, and then they have the snack, whatever that is for your day, um, which is really delicious and yummy. Um, and then they have their physical activity. So they do some like games and stuff. They do some. They just move around. Do some. It's like a recess on the. Sometimes it's an obstacle course, so stuff like that to get their energy out, to get ready for the next lesson, which is themed lesson. So we teach a lesson based on our theme or our color of the week, number of the week, the other week. Sometimes we do an activity or they watch a video or do some songs. This is basically activity time. And then they have their end of the day centers, so they do some more, they play with some blocks, they do some more of the science table and stuff like that. And then, um, let's see, and then we do our closing time, they do some songs and some puzzles and some card games, maybe like Uno or something. But and then we do our closing song, goodbye song, and then the parents come and pick them up, and then Mr. Hunter's done for the day, and then he gets on the bus, he gets back to the high school, then he has study hall, which we never see because there's not much going on, not that much content for the show. So we move on to lunch. He chit chats with the brotherhood, and it's game day Thursday, so he does some games on his phone. Um, so um, whatever that may be. Sometimes it's mini rush. Sometimes he pretends to be. There's this game that you pretend to be like an officer and pull people over and do like a trap, you know. But we done game like a mobile game like that. So but they eat lunch, which is like I think like spaghetti or something like that. First day is always like the pasta, bread type day. So, but anyway, and then he goes to science with Mr. Mindock and probably Mr. Miller at this point. They do like a lesson, and then they have um, then they do their daily activity, and then um, fifth period they go to Hunter goes to Algebra 2 with Mr. Stevens. They have a lesson, but like a lesson and an activity, and then he goes to resource with Miss Oswald. He gets his Algebra 2 assignment done, and then um, and then he goes to seventh period, the last period day, U.S. history, wild language. Um, they have their lesson, and then they do like a assignment. And then the bell rings at 3:30. He goes home. He gets away for Friday. And then season 9, episode 43 is another Thursday episode. So he goes to breakfast, and then he goes to Heartland. Um, and today he's once again Mr. Hunter. Today is another preschool day. So they do their morning centers like always. Um, whatever. Um, Sometimes it's they play a dramatic play where they play with a kitchen or a fake kitchen, or they do like a shop, like a grocery store type thing. Sometimes they dress up like a firefighter or officer, um, but or sometimes it's like a dollhouse, play like um, you know stuff like that. I miss those days in elementary school where I pretend to be um like a mom or a dad or something like that. But anyway, or like shopping or I just miss it. Being like an adult is hard. But anyway, doing the show sometimes it's hard. Oh my gosh, getting everything set up, and I'm the only one that sets it up. But anyway, and then they do a morning meeting. They do all their songs and calendar, same old, same old. At this point, though, it's winter time. Season 9 is like February, January, February. So the weather kiddo is the weather person, he or she, they don't go outside in the winter because it's too cold. But we go out of I guess a classroom, wherever we go into the hall by the door, and they look at the window and they see what's going on. And we open the door a little bit to feel if it's cold, or we like to see if it's windy or whatever. But, um, and then they go report the weather to the rest of their friends, peers, um, and then they line up, they go to their music lesson. The theme is probably this is probably middle of maybe it's like winter or something. So they do some wintry song, like building a snowman and stuff like that. Um, and then they have a story time, so they go up to the loft, they do their story, and then alphabet lesson, same old, blah blah blah, But um, and then snack time, they do their snack time song, and then they have their snack, and then we have recess wherever physical activity wherever. One day it might be obstacle course, but you'll see it on the clip. You'll see it on the clips. Um, but as obstacle course, sometimes they do like a game, sometimes, um, but or like catch and stuff like that. So with a ball, that's simple stuff. But anyway, and then they have themed lesson. So uh, we teach them about a topic that the theme is on. So winter it might be talking about snow or fun things to do in the winter, like sledding and stuff, building snow. Or it could be about the color of the week or number of the week, letter of the week. We might discuss those type. They might have their story time, whatever. Um, and then they have their closing centers. So just like in the morning, like blocks, art, all the centers, um, which they get to choose whatever they want to do, and the kiddos love it. And then we have our closing time. We do like an activity with them, and we do some songs with them. Um, and then we do a goodbye song, and then they go home. Mr. Hunter signs off for the day. He returns back into Hunter, the savage and burrhead eater. Um, then he goes to lunch, study hall lunch. He chit chats with the burrhead. It's Thursday, so they have a game day again. Um, so, um, which I talked about earlier, which is like mobile games and stuff like that. Um, so after lunch, um, he goes to science with Mr. Mendock, and they do the same old, just like I talked about earlier. They have a lesson, and then they have like an assignment. Um, and then he goes to Algebra 2 with Mr. Steven. Um, That's probably a lesson again today, or either that or study hall. And then he goes to resource and he works on some work with Miss Oswald. And then he goes to seventh period, the last period day, U.S. history. Mr. Wild, in which he does his little craziness in the beginning, and then lesson, and then they have like a assignment that or project, whatever they work on the same thing for a little bit until they get it done. But and then that's it for this episode of Session on Block Marathon Madness. Have a terrific Thursday night. God bless and protect each and every one of you, and I'll see you Friday night. Bye for now.